I'm feeling good. Kick it. Hey, fans of Vermont Radio. It's time for the greatest podcast with the exciting team of podcasters. Time to Let's Make It Loud. From 9 to 10:30.
It's time to what? Let's make it loud.
Come join
Make it loud, baby.
YouTube and G Live streams. Wow. Chat, exchange. Be part of the fun. On Vermont Radio. And now, here at home, DJ Murray, Makai, and Allwell. Here on Let's Make It Loud, everybody.
Views expressed on this show are views and expressions of the DJ, not of Vermland Radio. If you are in disagreement with the way DJs or guests on this show express themselves, please email us with an educated discussion and evidence to back up your claim. The goal of the show is to have educated discussions and to learn from each other. Thank you for understanding. Vermland Radio.
I always like that. Vermland Radio. And look, it sounds better now. Maybe after a year I got used to it.
It's not as it's got a different sound to it. Maybe it's the sound from the studio. I don't know.
Maybe it's the new studio. You're right.
New
Maybe
studio.
it's bouncing off my phones or something like that. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. Welcome. Bonjour tout le monde. Welcome.
Yeah.
Bienvenue.
bonjour.
I'm going to have to start translating so Akai could get used to it. So, bienvenue au podcast du...
Yeah. I got to figure out a way to learn French. And then I got to Quebecify it.
Yeah, you're going to have to Quebecify. No, we're not going to go in French, but I just wanted to say hi to all the Quebecers.
But we want to do it in French. We want to do some shows in French.
Yeah, we do.
In order to do French, Akai has to learn French.
Yeah, so Akai's going
Other than his, like his first grade French, which was which I still remember a lot of my first grade French, like un bouton and un revolver and stuff like that, from when I was a kid living in England. So...
Oh, there we go. Hey, what's up?
What's up, BB? Yeah. So, so we got some saucy stuff tonight.
We do.
We're just getting, we do. And then we got some funny stuff, which I think is kind of funny. It's kind of sad for what happened to the poor guy, but we should probably start with that one. So,
yeah, go ahead. Let's kick it.
So in Atlanta, Georgia, if you buy a house and it's vacant, you got to register it with the city.
You do?
Right? Yeah, you do. This is a vacant property or something like that. So in case you got vandals or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this guy registers it with the city. The city comes and tears it down as a vacant property, demolishes the whole estate.
Okay.
It's level to the ground. There's nothing left.
Okay.
Charges him $700,000 for the destruction and removal of that property.
Okay.
They demoed the wrong address.
No. It's like cutting an arm when you're going to, to the hospital or something like that. You cut off your arm, but you're not the right person.
They demoed the wrong address. It wasn't even the right wrong street, totally wrong street.
Okay.
Because there's two streets and the spelling's different.
Okay.
And they came to the wrong address, demoed the house. And he found out because he showed up with the contractor to do some renovations and the house was gone.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you feel about that one?
Crazy.
And so you'd think, hey, let's go to the city, get this straightened out, right? Let's get this fixed up. City's going to build me a new house and it's all going to be all good.
Mm-hmm.
City said, not our fault. You still owe us $700,000 for the destruction and removal. And, see you later.
Okay, that's totally
literally sent him a letter saying this is not our fault. You guys went to the wrong address, demoed the wrong house. Of course, the guy's taking him to court. So when I find out an update on this one, I can't even imagine.
So no, but I mean, totally. Like, you know, your house. It's almost the same thing as going through a fire. I mean, but your house is like
Yeah,
destroyed.
but this is a
Come
guy that
home.
he buys rentals and he flips them, and and he's into the real estate thing. So he followed the rules of the city, and his house got demolished because he's like, hey, I'm renovating the house, and the pictures of the house before, yeah, the road was a little, the outside was a little roughed, with the landscaping and stuff, but he was getting all that stuff fixed up. He had contractors coming over to repair all that stuff so he could rent out the property and make some money back on it, because he invested a lot of money to buy the property.
Okay.
And now his whole investment is like totally on hold. He's got to get a lawyer now to go after the city. The city's already told him, no, it's not our fault. We demoed the right house.
They demoed the right house,
even though the addresses don't match.
No, but how much will that cost? I mean, what about the city? City, what is the city going to do about that?
The city's already told him, no, it's not our responsibility. That's why he's taking it to court.
But who called the shot again?
The city is the one who sent the demo crew out.
Okay, so the city sent
to me and you, this makes perfect sense. To me and you, this is like the city did it. The city's responsible.
Okay.
The city made a mistake. The city needs to fix it.
Okay. Yeah.
They need to restore him back to good.
Uh-huh.
Except they gave him a bill and said, tough tiddlywinks.
I can't believe this.
But it happens all the time. Happens all the time. Municipalities make mistakes. I mean, people make mistakes.
Uh-huh.
But wouldn't you think when you plug it into your GPS or whatever, that you get to a house and it looks good? Yeah, the landscaping's a little rough. Why are we demoing this one? This one's not a junk pile.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you. The house was beautiful.
The reason they demo these things is because they want to beautify the area, get so people can't vandalize them and make the area look bad. And that's why they go through and they demo these homes that are just a wreck. They're not worth fixing.
Were they playing SimCity?
Maybe little SimCity Atlanta edition. But
like I do when I demo.
But I mean, I know me as a person, I would be like, oh my God, you just did what?
Yeah.
To my house? And then I get a letter from the city says, no, we're not paying this. And oh, by the way, you owe us for the demolition.
God.
I mean,
no, I don't. You're the one who just broke down my house.
Yeah, you should fix it. Fix my house back. It kind of makes me want to go get demolition equipment, show up at City Hall, demo City Hall, and hand them a bill when I'm done. Here you go.
There you go.
1.8 million. Here's your bill. Pay it up. No, I got the right address right here.
Yeah.
Well, even though it says Main Street, I know Main Street spelled differently, but it's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, exactly. Like just build yourself a new one. Yeah. No, that's craziness. That's a really nasty case.
It is a nasty. It's that one's gonna.
How is that going to turn out in the States? I mean, how's that going to, because I'm Canadian, so I mean, how's that going to turn out in the States?
Well, I think it's going to go to court. It's going to either go in front of a judge or a jury. If it goes in front of a jury, this guy, I think, will clean up. He'll get that and some.
Okay.
That's if he's allowed to sue the city.
Okay.
Because a lot of these government officials have immunity, qualified immunity.
Okay.
It's kind of like a cop. When a cop arrests you, he's got qualified immunity. You do something stupid, unless he does something to get rid of his qualifying. Like if he beats you and stick you in the trunk, then he loses his qualified immunity. But you're not going to be able to sue him. So he's got to go through that whole process. But I'm sure that's going to take a couple years to get done. It's not going to be a quick and easy. But yet he's still got to make payments. He's still got to make mortgage payments. He's still got
to mortgage.
Yeah, he's either got a mortgage or it's paid for. So hopefully it's paid for and he doesn't have to make mortgage, but he's still gonna have to make a tax payment on the property.
Try to tell your bank, hey, I'm sorry, but there's no more worth on my house.
Yeah, the whole property's worthless now because the city went and destroyed the whole house.
Oh God, no, I can't imagine that. I can't. I mean, how stupid could someone be to call that out?
I don't know.
It's like it's like I saw on the show. Someone got they call that urgency errors or something like that, hospital errors. You come in, you have a problem with your arm, and you finish that they sex transferred you. It's like you don't even have your sex anymore. Cut it off. It's like because you were in the wrong. They took the wrong prescriptions. They put the wrong pads at the wrong place.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God, that's awful.
No, yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah, didn't you see? There's a lot of these shows.
Well, I saw the one where they cut off some dude's wrong foot or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, how do you make that mistake as a doctor when you've been talking to the client for how many visits? Okay, we're cutting off the right foot. Yep, you're cutting off the right foot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you come out and your left foot's gone. You're like, the problem's with the right foot. Now you got to go through surgery again.
And you lose.
Then remove the wrong foot to remove the right foot. Oh my Lord.
Yeah. No, I can't. That's crazy.
Now that's why when you come out, they make you mark on your leg and sign with your initials when they're doing surgery. This is the site we're doing. This one here, yes.
Oh, it's crazy. Eh?
Well, I had my knee replaced here recently.
So what's happening with your knee?
It's great. It's wonderful. They put in a whole new knee. And it's the new style of knee where they can actually remove the wear surfaces and replace the wear surface. That way in 10 to 15 years when the wear surfaces wear out, I can go in for a surgery. They will make an incision, pop out the old wear surface, put the new wear surface in, and I don't have to go through all the 2 months of physical therapy and all the hospital time, and it's pretty cool technology.
So as I'm understanding, you're becoming a bionic man.
No, bionic man. Not Mr. Beast's crew, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
that's technology. It's crazy to see that go on. All about technology.
Well, it's cool what they can fix and they can replace. That's for sure.
Yeah. Replace your knee, kneecap, whatever, legs, whatever. Now today, there's no more nothing for the technology. Everything's going great.
I'm waiting for full body transference, where you'll be able to go, okay, I'm going to select this drone or this android looking body, and I'm going to transfer my consciousness to it.
No, you're doing like that movie I saw about cloning. They would clone the same person. They would take your DNA. They take your DNA and then they create another you, but younger, with no issues, and then they just transfer your conscience to the
That'd
body.
Be nice.
Yeah,
I'd be game for that.
And then you're good for another 100 years.
I'd be game for that right now.
So that means it's like some people are telling me after 50. That's one of the inside jokes here. After 50, your warranty is out.
Oh, yeah. I blew through that by the time I was 25. That mileage was run out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, some people do different jobs that make their warranty run out faster. Not talking about Jaws, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. So, hey, everybody, DJ Verm here, DJ Akai. Yep. We're back. We're back in action. We're back on Let's Make It Loud, like you all know, Vermland Radio. Yeah, we've been gone for a while. Last show, if you go see it on YouTube, the last show we discussed a little bit.
About why we were gone for so long.
Yeah, we were gone for so long. Sorry, guys.
Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year. And me and Akai wanted to come back, but with all the issues going on and stuff like that, in my real life, I should say, because not Akai, you had a couple of things going on your end, more of your knee surgery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we said, no, we're not going to stop this. So, Vermland Radio is still there. If you want to go see
we're
our
back.
website, vermlandradio.com.
Older,
also,
more bitter, jaded, grumpy old men.
Yeah. And if you want to help us out, people out there, like y'all know, these costs are a lot, and we do want to go back to the radio station and stuff like that.
And subscribe for sure.
Yeah.
That's huge. If that's all you can do, that is huge, and we appreciate it more than you know.
Exactly. So, and give us some comments, or even if you want some suggestions,
or if you just want to comment in the comment thing, you got a topic, a suggestion, something.
Yeah,
you got a question or an answer on what happened. If you got a tip, like, hey, that dude settled. Here's the link. Yeah, cool. We would love that. That helps us out a lot.
Yeah, and at the same time, just to let you guys know out there, if you want to join, we can make you join if you want to come live with us on the air. We just have to make sure that you're not going to go berserk. That's one thing, but we got to make sure, because we do, and we have our YouTube and all that, so y'all could go see.
That's for us to go to berserk.
Yeah, we got to go berserk. Not you guys. We got to go. You could chat. You could send chats in. You can send chats in, and we do talk with you. Our membership is really important, and I know Akai wants to start a fans only.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Think we could do an OnlyFans for this? Let's make it loud.
Yeah, an OnlyFans, but we're gonna have to do different.
We're gonna do a hot tub edition.
Oh, we can do a hot tub edition. That would be cool. Oh God, oof! You wouldn't want to see me in my hot tub.
No, that would be ugly.
Well, yeah, no, but we could look at that, something like that, or Patreon, whatever, stuff like that. We do want to work. We're working.
We are looking at doing some of that stuff. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so come and join us. Hit the bell and help us out. Subscribe. Talk about us. We have a SoundCloud also, so where we're putting our shows and all that. You want to come listen to the DJs? There's a lot of DJ music also on the air, so on SoundCloud, and yeah. So the more the merrier. Oh, don't forget, you can buy some swag on our website. Yes,
you can.
So if you want to help us out,
you should probably post the new address somewhere.
Yeah, I will. You know what? I'm going to post Verms Productions.
You should probably post it somewhere like down here or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. Like totally, almost like right now. I mean,
like where it says host. Yeah, like that, where it says vermlandradio.com there.
Yeah,
but we have a new website. Will that one redirect now?
Yeah, we're going to work on it. Yes, it will redirect, because the www.vermlandradio.com is still going to exist. So it's going to go directly to the new website. So I think we're okay. We could keep that one. So the people.
And if it shows up in Canadian dollars, don't worry. It's cheaper in American.
It is cheaper in American. So but come and join us. Go crazy. And help us out. That's always cool. I mean, we do say it out loud. So yeah, good. So hey, I want to know your opinion on electric cars. Where are you at in your mindset on electric cars?
My mindset on electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Sure, you want to go here?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know you're a gas guy like me. So.
I think. Well, I know that buying a Humvee is more ecologically friendly, than buying an electric car right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So these lithium mines that run these big mining trucks, burn an obscene amount of diesel. Look it up. It's crazy. It's like 500,000 gallons a year of diesel per truck, and there's 6 to 12 trucks per mine.
Okay.
That's a lot of go juice, man.
Yeah.
just to mine the lithium. Then you got to mine cobalt, copper, all the other materials for the vehicle. I respect the technology. I respect what they're doing.
Okay.
I understand what they're trying to do for a greener world.
Okay.
I think that a hybrid car is the more efficient way to do it, because it uses a smaller battery.
Okay.
You're still using some carbon-based fuel of some point to do it.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but like a lot of mining trucks, they're actually hybrid vehicles. Like the big ones with like the monster tires that are as big as a house.
Okay.
They're actually diesel electric. They have a diesel turbine on them that powers that turns the generator, which then turns the electric motors and the wheels.
Okay.
And that's how those work, because it's more efficient that way. A hybrid car that's got a 10-gallon fuel cell that has a small jet turbine on it, which has already been done. It's already a known thing. It's already a known, how fast it can recharge a battery pack with the appropriate alternator or generator on it. And it would be more efficient in the long run of the vehicle. Your charge times would be a lot less. Instead of sitting 40 minutes to an hour at a charge point, you don't need to go to the charge point.
Okay.
Just turn the car on and go. When the battery needs a charge, the turbine will turn on, charge your battery. You stop it through at the gas station, get your gas. But by telling people to go, hey, by 2035, all gas vehicles are no longer sold. Well, what happens to all the people that got gas vehicles in 2035?
Well,
what happens in 2045, 2055?
That's what I'm wondering.
You think that car is going to get any cheaper? You think I'm going to be able to jump into a Tesla 3 for under 50 grand? How are people that can't afford to buy nice cars now going to be able to afford an electric vehicle?
So you're well, I'm just looking up. So you're kind of telling me, give me a second. You want to give the Ranger the new password?
Yes, hold on a sec. I'm glad he could make it on time.
He's replacing me.
I am totally shocked that you started on time. Actually, I'm very proud of you, Verm.
Thank you,
for
sir.
being able to start on time.
Yeah, you're totally right. Hey, I was so I just said, oh, we got to do it.
But no, I mean, there's a place for these vehicles. It's just like hydrogen vehicles.
Okay.
HHO. Oh dear Lord, he's trying to pretty himself up.
He's preening.
He is preening himself. Would you just join the stream, stud? Is he on the thing yet?
No, I didn't hear him yet. No, he's still not on. So he's putting his makeup.
Okay, let me go, because are you there yet? I sent you a private. Come, stop preening yourself and get in here so we can make fun of you.
Yeah. Oh God.
No. Come on in. I'm muting this thing.
Yeah, I found out something new. I'm looking at it. Is it on? Yeah, it's on Facebook now.
He is literally trying to pretty himself up now. He is like primping and preening. This is hilarious.
Yeah. Have you seen
his excuse is he's at the store. What?
No, but what we're talking about when we're talking, it's like writing down text.
I don't see your side.
Subtitling.
No, I don't see the subtitles.
You don't?
No.
Maybe. Oh, there we go.
I'm glad he can understand me speak.
So there's a guy.
It still didn't help. Whatever you did not help. You're still
Lou.
ugly.
Me?
Yeah,
I'm in the dark. Do you see? I turned out the lights so you couldn't see me. You know, I'm like, you know.
What, you think it's gonna help?
Yeah. It's like on the Shadow Warrior.
The Shadow
Oh, God.
Warrior of what?
Shadow Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm in the shadows. I'm the Shadow Warrior of your nightmares.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God.
I don't need you to be the Shadow Warrior. I just gotta watch, like the political channel app before I go to bed, and that could be my demons for the night.
No, just I hate this camera because it always captures that squalor underneath my chin. There.
It's because you're fat.
Just say
I'm
it.
not- hey,
Just say it. You're fat.
I just weighed myself last night. I'm only a mere 233
Look, we're fat shaming
pounds.
you. We're fat
Two-
shaming.
233 at 6'1" is not fat. Come on,
Fat.
that's hefty.
Well,
You could be me.
Well, that's
350
obese,
at
so.
6 foot.
Yeah, but isn't that considered like Sasquatch?
Oh, I'm Sasquatch, but I'm fat. I can admit it.
Okay. Now, what about
I'm
what
confident in my body.
and what about Verm here? What Verm? You gotta confess your weight here. What's
Oh, you
your
want to hear my weight? Oh,
He's in
God,
kilos.
man. 237.
237
Stones.
kilos
Is it
or
stones or
stones?
kilos?
No, pounds, man. I'm
Pounds,
in pounds, man. I'm in pounds here. God.
If it was
Are you-
stones, it
well,
would
I
be
thought you guys
it'd be
were
one
metric.
boulder.
I thought you guys were metric
5'9",
there.
by the way. I'm 5'9".
Are you metric
5'9".
or are you
Oh, you're-
stone?
You're not that.
We're pounds.
You're pounds there?
Yeah, we're pounds.
You don't go by the metric system in Canada?
Oh no, not me. I don't go by the metric. I know it's. I don't know. It's 140, whatever. I don't know. Yes, we do go metric. But
So you're in that point in my life, like my shop. My shop is all standard.
Hey,
Right?
hey,
All standard
Kenzie,
tools.
you want to meet the guys?
All standard tools, all standard everything. Inches and
Here, turn on
fractional
that light
inch
so
and everything
you
like
can see you.
for like all my machining equipment. It's all fractional inch
See if
stuff.
that light.
A lot of my blueprints are coming to me now in
That won't. No,
metric,
turn over on the
metric?
overhead.
in metric. So now I've got to start converting tooling to metric.
Someone just passed by.
That's now that's too bright. Damn it! Turn that off. It's too bright. I don't know what
That
the
is
lighting
really
is.
bright.
Yes, we are live.
Okay, well, come
We
over
are
on this
definitely
side.
live.
So this is my daughter Mackenzie. Here, say hi.
Hi, Mackenzie.
Hi.
He's really mean to me. Yeah.
I know.
That's right. I don't give her an allowance. She
You
just
should
has
pull
to
on
work
his
for
ears.
free. I can't.
Don't you fart off camera? You're like, oh, that's stinky.
What
Okay.
was that? I didn't even catch that last
You're-
one.
Hey,
Your hands are full.
Reminder.
What
to
I fart
subscribe,
off? I
all
fart
over
on
the
camera.
planet.
I really don't care.
Yeah, it stinks at the whole house. It's like an atomic bomb. Stinky.
Wow.
And not
Okay.
as bad as your armpits. Now get out of here.
Okay.
So we were talking about.
Take off your hat. You know there's a bald spot right here.
Usually we should cut that on the
Hey,
montage.
Hey, that's exactly why I wear my hat, to cover up the bald spot in the back.
What are you afraid of the bald spot for?
I'm not. It just makes me cold
You
when
should
the air
embrace.
conditioning's on. I do embrace it.
it.
The problem is that the air conditioning vent is like right above my head here, and it blows down onto my bald spot. and I
Does it
get
mess
the
up your
shit.
hair while you're on the radio?
No, it just messes up my. It makes me cold. I don't like being
Nice.
cold.
Cold.
Yeah, I don't like
Cold?
being cold. That's
You're
why I
cold.
like.
So we were talking about electric vehicles.
Electric vehicles are pieces of crap. We need to get rid of them. The long-term disposal of the batteries hasn't even been contemplated by this government. What are you going to do with all these batteries once they go bad? How are you going to dispose of them? You can't bury them. You can't throw them in a landfill. You can't burn them. I mean, tell me. France had the same problem. They got rid of all their electric cars and said, you know what? It's actually worse for the environment. Plus, think of this. You
So I
might
haven't
be
heard the
saving.
French thing. I haven't heard
Hey.
the French thing.
I didn't hear the French thing.
Yeah, that in France.
I
France,
know
not-
that we bury
yeah.
like wind power in this country.
Yeah, we bury wind
We
power.
bury an astronomical amount of wind blades.
Are you
Yep.
serious?
Mhm.
They just bury them in the ground. They don't dispose of them. They don't reprocess them. They don't do anything with them. They just bury them in the ground. And this is supposed to be such a clean energy. Do you know how much oil is up inside that impeller? beside that rotor.
5,000 gallons, according to Dirty Jobs
Really?
guy.
Yes.
5,000 gallons
I don't know if it's
supply
5,000
to
gallons,
lubricate.
but
That's what.
it's possible.
Now, yeah, he was working in a wind turbine field out in Ohio, and on Dirty Jobs, and I remember seeing that one because they took him up inside. They had to they were doing the maintenance on inside, so he gets inside this thing, and and of course it's shut down. But he notices like at the base of this thing are these huge tanks with pumps, and he's like, "Well, what's this?" He goes, "Well, that's where we store the oil to lubricate the wind turbine." And he goes, "Wait, I thought this was clean energy. Why are we using?" Well, clean air. He goes, "Yeah, but gearing you still need to lubricate it." And he goes,
Whoa.
and graphite's not going to do it. These things are too big. You need grease. We need to get up there. So we're going to be greasing these. We're going to be checking the oil levels. And then he's like, he said it's not uncommon for like when a tornado hits these things or one of them catches on fire, they'll just dump oil all over the place. I'm like the things that the government neglects to tell you on these things.
I know. I've seen them
you know.
catch on fire. And you're looking at that and you're like, that is not just plastic burning.
Yeah.
That is oil and all kinds of stuff going on. And it's just
the guy did tell can't remember his name, the
Rowe?
Dirty Job. Yeah, Mike Rowe. He said, because Mike Rowe says, well, about how much oil did, and the guy says 5,000 gallons each fan. Each of these massive fans in this field, each one has a 5,000 gallon tank that we have to keep full in order to, and he goes, and we can't let it go below, I think he said it was below 3.5 thousand. Otherwise it doesn't have enough to get up to the top of the turbine. And that's when the turbines will blow apart. Once it's just like, it's just like any engine. He goes, you don't have enough oil in it locks up and then it goes. So he's like, and it's an ugly thing. These things blow and then you get, so they showed the tank. He actually, to access it, they had to go instead of up, down. They went down this ladder underneath the base of the turbine, and then there was just it was just like a oil bulb that had the level in it, and they were checking that, and they showed the top of the tank and all this stuff. And he's like, and we put a dipstick just like as what the guys at the big oil storage tanks use, and we check the depth, and we pull it back up and say, okay, that's how much oil we have in it. And then we have a truck comes out here, and he's like, well, a series of trucks that will come out here and just dump oil into these tanks just as if they're filling, a gas station tank. So he's like, yeah. And he goes, but he said, we do it at night. We have to fill these at night because they don't want people to know. And he goes, unfortunately, now they're going to know, but they want us he said the environmental regulations from the EPA say they have to be filled at night so people don't see us using oil to lubricate these things because they want to sell it as clean power when it's still using petroleum products. And it's just like in Texas when they had that huge freeze a few years back, and all the wind turbines froze up, and they had to get helicopters using a petroleum-based product to melt the ice off these wind turbines. And it's like, you can't get rid of petroleum because it's the base
the
for
everything stuff for the airplane things. Yeah,
they put in the airplanes there, Aquapel or stuff like that.
Yeah,
they got that antifreeze stuff that comes out of the wing things to break up the ice. They use the same thing on wind turbines.
No, they have no choice.
Yeah, I mean, but that's my problem with EVs. I mean, now there's some EVs out there. Aptera is doing an EV, which is currently right now like the only one I can really get behind.
Okay.
We'll do 0 to 300 or up to 1,000 miles, depending on what battery you pick.
Okay.
It's a 2-seater. It's got solar panels on it. The solar panels can charge up to 40 miles a day. So if you just use it as a little grocery getter and go back and forth to work and your commute's less than 40 miles round trip each day, you technically would never have to plug it in.
Unless it's a rainy day and you can't get away from it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there'll be days that you don't drive it and days you do drive it. I mean, a lot, but you know, most people don't go that far.
Well, you know what the acronym for people who have a 2-seater car are?
What?
They're usually dinks. You know what a dink is, right?
No.
New word for me.
Dual income, no kids. It's 2 people
Oh.
with no kids, so they only need a 2-seater.
Well, or they're retired people.
Oh, that's true. Empty nesters. Yeah.
Empty nesters. I mean, you're retired. It's just you and the old lady.
Well, then, you still gotta have something to tote the grandkids around in if you're taking care of them.
But I mean, if you're just running back and forth to the doctor and doing this and that, you know, you have that car in the garage that, you know, holds 6 people, you know, but this one just stays parked in the driveway.
Can
Another
you
cool
leave
thing
that
that they
on,
do
dear? I need it for
is
light for the podcast.
is
Oh yeah, you go.
they put QR codes on all the parts. So if you have a part that breaks, you can just scan the QR code. It brings you to the link. You can order it, and it ships to your house.
There's the wife in the background, guys. There's the wife.
Yep, she doesn't want to be on here. She's like, get me the hell off this.
She's heading to the deck for a smoke. So, anyways, here's smoke break. Take 5.
Take 5.
Smoke them if you got them, honey.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some cool electric cars out there.
Yeah.
And then there's some go fast electric cars. I'm kind of curious to see what the new Tesla sports car is going to look like.
Well, you know, I wonder because you know you're talking sports cars and stuff. Is that Ford is switching their new Mustang line from a gas guzzler to a
broken piece of crap.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can't make a muscle car without an engine. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, you want unless it has proto sounds and you get a fake muffler sound.
Why do you need the sounds? I mean, just smell my burning rubber as I pass you up.
No. When you're at a car show or you're showing off to your
0
friends,
to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
The first thing you do as a car lover is rev that damn engine up so you can hear them freaking horses, you know, pounding.
Well, maybe we start doing donuts.
But you still want to hear the engine. I don't want to hear a weak. Like it's like okay when I go and I want to see someone doing donuts, I want to hear that, whoa, you know, and just that
does the
roar.
Does the newer generation though?
Can you do that again?
That car's broken.
God dang, emphysema is kicking in.
I think you have a problem with your car.
That car's broken, dude. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that car, but
2023 people, let's make it loud.
So my neighbor now my neighbor has a Tesla, and he's got like the top, you know, he's kind of got some money, so he's got one of the really like $80,000 suckers with all the bangs and whistles. But anyways, he said the only downside he has to that Tesla, the only downside is not anything to do with the batteries losing power after years of service or whatever, you know. But he said the downside comes is if you go and let's say you're on. So he took a trip to Georgia.
Recharge points.
And it's not. Yeah, that's it. And he said, here's the thing. He goes, my wife and I did a contest. She drove our hybrid, which is, you know, takes gas, but it has an electric motor in it. And he said, and then I took the test. And he's like, so we left literally at the same time, you know, and I was right behind her. And at times I was ahead of her on the interstate, but we were pretty much neck and neck going down 95. And he said, and then I got farther than her because of course she had to stop and fill up after a while, and her car gets only so many miles to the gallon. I get so many miles to the charge. So I kept on rolling. Well, then all of a sudden I needed to charge. He goes, because they always tell you, don't let that battery die, you know, charge it at a certain point. So he's like, so I call her on the phone. He's like, Anna, hey, I got to stop and charge. She's like, good luck. So she keeps on going because she's already filled up and she's good to go. Well, she passes me. I pull over at a Wawa and they at their charging point, and they got supposedly the fast charge, the Tesla point. So he goes, I hook it up and I'm sitting there. And he goes, and I literally sat there. Well, people came and went to get their gas. He goes, what pissed me off is the fact I had to wait 45 minutes. Well, my car charged on a fast charge, 45 minutes for a fast charge. Well, people were filling up their tank in 5 minutes and leaving, put their card in, fill it up, gone, fill it up, gone. He goes, I'm 45 minutes sitting there doing crossword puzzles and word searches on my phone. And he goes, finally, my car's charged. I get on the road. She was already in South Carolina.
Are you serious?
He's like, dude, she had just crossed South Carolina border and was stopping for a fill up when I was still in North Carolina after a 45-minute charge. He says, so because she made so much headway. And now, I told him, I said, well, the Elon Musk did the same thing. He took a Tesla from New York City and drove to LA, and he had to plan zigzag his route because once you get out in the Midwest states and into the Rocky Mountains, you're few and far between on charging stations. So he literally had to really plan it so he could get to charging stations and from one charging station to the next, and hope to God that the damn charging station was hooked up and working. So he's like, I was calling ahead and be like, hey, is your charging station operational? Yes, it is. Okay. And he's like, so, and then he had to make plan Bs just in case those charging stations that said they were working might have been, not working. So he'd have to quickly go somewhere else. So he had to keep enough charge in his car. But he said, it took him, so he drove out to LA, then he took a gasoline vehicle back to New York. So he turned around, drove back to New York. In half the time it took him to drive with the Tesla, took him twice as long as if compared to when he drove back with the gasoline, because he didn't have to zigzag. He was just straight shot. He hit every gas station when he needed it, and he was in and out, gone, in and out, gone. And of course,
even if they have coast to coast, they have coast to coast. But once the infrastructure gets a little more solid and they have coast to coast infrastructure, you still have to stop every 400 miles like a gas car, and you have to charge for 45 minutes plus.
Oh yeah, and my friend said it depends on the charging
45 minutes
station.
at the gas station. I've already filled up. I've gotten a couple sodas. I've ordered my Subway, and I'm back in the car and I'm heading down the road in 30.
Yeah, that's like he said. His wife was in the hybrid, and she was already in South Carolina by the time he was, heading back on the road. He's like, 45 minutes is a long time to wait when you're trying to make a trip. And he's like, and so she was already in Atlanta ahead, literally an hour ahead of him. If
I was to get an electric vehicle, so it would be a grocery getter, run around town car. Yeah. It wouldn't be for like,
hey, sweetie,
I need to drive to the next town over, or I'm going to go visit my friends a couple states away. That would not be.
Hi guys.
Would not be what my electric car would be for. Because people are like, oh, you're going to have to get rid of that big old truck you got and have to go electric here in a couple years. And I'm like, but an electric vehicle can't do what my truck does.
I can't wait to see, because, since I'm on the road, I can't wait to see the distance I'm going to have, because, I got some kilometers that I do to get to my from
for work.
To my stores. And that's the one thing that I'm trying to figure out, because when you have an hour and a half drive to one of your stores, that's like, oh God.
Once you
get
one of those,
would not work.
What about one of those little smart cars? A little 2-seater smart car.
I don't want that, man. It's your coffin that you buy when you buy these two cars.
Those smart cars are actually pretty tough.
Yeah, I
have
know,
seen them squashed. They have a frame on them that is super tough.
Hey,
but
if you go between two truckers, 53 feet trucks, I saw accidents, man. They go,
you think that truck's going to stop you from being squished? No.
No, that's what I'm telling you. It's a
No,
small
so
car. I mean, even a
you might
car
as well get
we
it
have-
over. Buy the smart car.
Yeah, I got to
Hey,
pick up.
hey, you remember those? You know what's funny is that my I
Oh, I
was
don't know, but you're going to tell me.
yeah those smart cars. You know how they're shaped. And I saw one parked on the road in front of a house. I was going down the neighborhood, my mom's neighborhood in Virginia Beach, and it was parked on the side of the road, and next to it in the grass was one of those little orange and yellow push along cars that was shaped just like it. I was like it's just the grown-ups version. You just got gas this time instead of your feet.
I don't think it's feasible. Like I said, go around town, run into an appointment across town, take the kids to school.
For long
if you worked,
trips,
if
it's
you
not.
if you worked in town, no big deal. And that's where the Aptera breaks that thing though.
Okay.
Aptera has a battery pack that'll go 1,000 miles.
Well, the technology will improve, but it's just like
1,000 miles.
it's just like Elon Musk said. It's to get the lithium. They're digging this out of the shittiest places in Africa and China. We're paying out the butt to China, and this is what I don't understand. So we're paying tariffs on the shit to China. China has tariffs on all this stuff, but China is crying that we need to lift the tariffs on the stuff that that they pay for whatever for over here. And I'm like,
Tariff me, I tariff you.
yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
works.
But Biden wants to lift the tariffs. He wants to because that's obviously with Hunter's dealings and stuff. He's in bed with the Chinese, so that's why he wants to sell this country off.
There we go.
Yeah.
He's in bed with the Chinese now.
That's right. He sniffs
Oh, he
little
has been from
Chinese
the
girls.
start.
Yeah. And
But-
he likes sniffing those Chinese
So,
girls.
anybody here want a Bud Light?
Yeah, let's go on the Bud Light because we do. Yeah, there is a good topic.
The
with TikTok,
Dylan
eh?
Mulvaney light? No, okay.
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
want your
he's
Bud
on
Light?
he's on the. Well, I'm glad that they finally fired the girl that caused all this trouble. That
Did they finally
BP.
fire her?
Yeah, she's gone. She's history. And they took
They
down.
fired like the
They took
entire
down all her
marketing
posts.
team.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
they took down all her Twitter feeds and everything. And
Budweiser's
also-
cranking hard now.
they also fired Dylan Mulvaney as a spokesperson or whatever the hell he was, and they stopped producing the cans with his ugly face on it. So, I tell you
Well,
what,
that was
you know,
only a promotional can for him.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a whole run of cans.
well, no, they said I think they made a certain amount of them or something like that. But God, I wouldn't want
Yeah,
to be
but
pop over the course like, what the hell is this drag queen doing on my?
but
So,
supposedly, last total I heard is $7 billion loss in sales.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
$7 billion.
Well, Nike's
with a
losing.
B.
Yeah,
billion.
Nike reported the other day on I'm trying to think. I think it was theirs is far less, but they people are boycotting Nike because Nike's supporting Dylan Mulvaney and
Yep.
and they've lost somewhere around I think 3.5 billion in sales. But obviously they're not putting his face on anyone's shoes, but just because he's the now they did say that they got an uptick in sales on their Dylan Mulvaney Rainbow Pride shoes.
Okay.
So, of course, the LGBT community loves those, or any of the supporters of that. But, the now it's Maybelline. Maybelline is now sponsoring Dylan Mulvaney. So it's like he loses out on one thing, but he gains on something else. So the guy's still making
what's that
money.
old saying? Go woke, go broke.
Yeah. So now Maybelline, now all these people
But me
are
and Vern were talking
boycotting
about this off
Maybelline.
camera. And the reason why these companies are doing this is because now they have to meet what's the name of that score they have to meet now, Vern? It's some international score they have to meet,
Yeah.
where they're inclusive and they got so many green points and they do so much carbon reclaiming and they're inclusive of everybody.
I totally forgot.
I forget what it's called. I forget what the thing is called, but every company in the EU or that does business with the EU has to maintain a certain score level,
Okay.
or they can't do business in the EU. How about that?
That's extraordinary.
It's crazy. And so a lot of these companies are trying to get their scores way up in the air. That's a fat cat. And
That's my sauce. That's the saucy kitty. That's Oreo.
And that's why they're having to deal with this. But I mean, you know, why does my beer have to get political? Why does my, you know, running company of, you know, my physical fitness gear stuff have to get political? I mean, why do they have to do that?
That's right. I'm upset because I just bought a new pair of Nike yoga pants, and I can't even try them on now because I just, you know, I'm creeped out because of Dylan Mulvaney. So, you know,
I
I'm
think we'd be
offended.
creeped out by seeing you in yoga pants.
I'm just kidding. I don't have yoga pants. No, I have leotards. Anyways.
That's what those things are. Why do they call them yoga pants?
I thought they were what leggings. I thought they call them leggings. I don't know.
Leggings used to actually be leggings at the time, where they only came up to about mid thigh.
Yeah. But it's.
But did anybody see the Nike commercial, the Nike things that he did?
No.
That Dylan Mulvaney did.
Oh, God. Yeah, I saw one.
Trying to work out.
He's in the backyard jumping around like a Kansas City weirdo. So yeah.
Yeah, and and he's just like totally making fun of women. And I'm like,
he's like, oh my God, look at my boobies are bouncing in this sports bra of mine. You know, it's just like, you don't have any, dude. You don't have any. I was like, you know, he is so creepy too. He was creepy. I saw a video of him.
The thing that creeped me out was he was celebrating so many days of girlhood.
Okay.
Not womanhood, but girlhood.
Yeah, the guy's a pervert. He's a
I'm
perv.
like, are you trying to be a woman or a girl?
I think he's trying to be a pedophile. A little bit of both.
And you know, he I don't know. There's some demons in that closet, I think.
Yeah, more than Jim. But I'll tell you what, I saw a video of him on the he was on The Price is Right. I think it was The Price is Right. And because they called him and he was like the special guest. And this was before he became a drag queen. This was like before he even came on the scene. And it was like, I guess he was not a guest, but they called him up from the crowd. And, you know, they're doing the song, dun, 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 whatever. And he comes out and he was just as a spaz as he is now, as he was back then. And he looks the same out of drag that he does in drag. I mean, nothing changes except his hair was shorter. And he's like the skinny, almost AIDS victim looking guy. Like he has no weight on him, like 0% body fat. And he's jumping around like a scarecrow out there. And this guy comes out, he's like, ah! He's like doing all these jumps and dances, and he's like, I can't believe it. And I can't remember who the host was at the time, but he's looking at him like, somebody get a straitjacket and get this guy off my stage. You know, it's like this dude is just gone. And for like 3 minutes, he just spazzing out on stage just so he's okay. Yeah. And people and the other contestants like, any day now, you can calm down.
These companies are losing a ton of money, right? And one, I feel for a company like this, because not only does it hurt, you know, it hurts the company, but it really hurts a lot of the employees.
Okay.
That have no say in this. It hurts the vendors. It hurts the salespeople that go out into the field to try to, you know, get it in stores, and they make commission off the stuff they sell. And there was that one with the Bud Light sales rep, and he goes into the store and all the beer around Bud Light is gone, and all the Bud Light is left.
Sorry.
And he's like, you know, how am I supposed to feed my family? This is how I make money. I make money on the sales of Bud Light, and Bud Light has gone and done this. His company has gone and done this. And now I don't know how I'm going to feed my family here in a couple weeks. I'm going to run out of money.
Okay.
You know, I feel for that guy.
Sell the other beer.
You know,
Sell the beer that's selling and get rid of the Bud Light. Send it back to the
But-
company. Get a
a
refund.
lot of these companies, a lot of these things, like if you look into Anheuser-Busch, like if you're going to boycott Anheuser-Busch and you look at all the beers that fall under the Anheuser-Busch banner, I think you'd be shocked. There's like 35 products.
Right?
Anything from Stella Artois to, Bud Light, Budweiser, and I forget which other ones they've got under their little umbrella. But they're all getting hurting because people are boycotting Anheuser-Busch, period.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
That's why they have over a $7 billion loss right now.
Okay.
And I keep trying to figure out why their stocks aren't plummeting. But if you go and you look at their stock prices, is they'll drop down during the day and then all of a sudden it looks like they rise up in trading, after hours trading. And then they come back up. So much money. How's going on, Evil?
Hey,
And
well,
so I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see, like, would it help Budweiser? Would it help Bud Light if they just came out and flat apologized? Because I know they produced that commercial with like the Clydesdale running through and trying to get everybody's patriotism up. What happens if that, like, the CEO came out and said, "Look, we screwed up.
I don't know.
We shouldn't have politicized this. We're a beer company and we should just drink beer."
Oh, speaking of Clydesdale, did you hear about Mulvaney? Dylan was, I guess, being interviewed. I think it was ABC News or something like that. But
no, it wouldn't. Okay.
So he was being interviewed about right after he got the thing with Bud Light, and they showed his face on the cam where he's like, oh, making that weirdo face, and so they were talking to him about, him being the new spokesperson for Bud Light, and he's like, oh, it's great, blah blah, and they said, well, what was your first, taste of stardom like? And he goes, and he literally said this, and I'm not kidding. He goes, well, it was kind of like being trampled by a herd of Budweiser Clydesdale with diarrhea. It was a shock. And I was just like, and the reporter just looked at him like, okay. And so, yeah, you were shocked. And of course, didn't repeat what he said. I'm just sitting there going, you just told everyone you got trampled by a herd Clydesdale with diarrhea. That is fucking damn. This guy's got some screws loose. I'm like,
Yeah.
Why would you say that on national TV?
I don't know.
It's
There's still screw loose. Like Evil here said that they've partnered with the LGBTQ community for years before this happened.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of beers have. Coors, I think Sam
MG
Adams did something.
Yeah, I think
Didn't
so.
MGD do something for a while?
Yeah.
Miller? Yeah.
But
I think they
it's
all
when
did just to cash in
like,
on it.
hey, we don't care who you are. We'll stand by you type thing. Okay, I get that. You're all Americans. Let's be Americans. But I think they went too far. And I think that's why they're feeling the repercussions from this.
The problem is
Jack Daniels did too. That's why I don't drink it.
Akai, the problem is that they went wrong there. They when you just mentioned that they said they're all Americans. No, the only ones that are all American are in the 82nd. That's why we're the all American Airborne. That's
true,
right.
yeah.
Airborne.
Yeah.
There you go. So, anyways, yes. But continue. I just want to make sure that we were clear on that.
Are we
No.
clear?
Yeah, and
Crystal.
So now are we? Is this a backlash thing, or is this like you've taken it too far thing? Is it just a backlash, like somebody didn't? Nah, we're done. Or is this like,
I think it's too early to tell yet. I think time will tell whether that was a backlash or if it was just a, hey, we're just trying to keep our profits from going any further in the toilet.
Well, they're in the toilet. They're not.
Well, I'm saying
their sales are still dropping.
Yeah, well, I think they thought by firing the staff that and the vice president that started this trouble, and then getting rid of Dylan Mulvaney out of the picture, I think they thought
I
that would
agree,
stop
Evil.
the stem. I think that would they really thought that would stop the hemorrhage of profit losses, but it didn't, because once you get a bad reputation, you can. What do we always say in the military? You can have all the attaboys in the world and all the awards. One freaking screw up, you throw all that shit into the freaking shit can, because that's all anyone's going to remember you for.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened to Budweiser, and Anheuser-Busch is reaping what they sowed. They went too far.
But Anheuser-Busch is no longer even an American company.
Well, yeah, it's Belgian.
No, it
owned.
ain't.
It's Belgian owned, isn't it?
It's owned in Belgium. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's the thing, is that, they but it doesn't matter whether they're American owned or
and
not.
That's the other, and that's, well,
It's
yes,
the American counter. Well, isn't Bud Light the American counterpart, or what?
It's
Isn't that
because
part?
the other thing is a lot of people know it's not an American owned company anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Budweiser is not an American owned company. It's owned by people in Belgium. And when they threw that woke ideology up there on their beer can, and people lashed out on it, and then they came out with this patriotic commercial that we're all supposed to fall in line in, waving flags and horses running through, by a company that's not even American anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you slapped me once, now you slap me twice.
Yeah, it's an insult it's adding insult to injury.
It's adding insult to injury.
And the thing is that
Well,
if they had just left well enough alone and stayed non-political and stayed out of the political realm, they didn't learn a damn thing from the NFL blowout, from when the NFL went totally political with Colin Kaepernick or Kaepernick, however you say his name, and that whole kneeling thing during the national anthem freaking pissed more Americans off than anything, and the NFL lost tons of profit off of that, because people would refuse to go to the games or buy the tickets. So,
like Evil put up a thing here. It says, so if they cut ties with people when they got turned on, they would get turned on by the LGBT community. Plus, yeah, I can't even pronounce it. There's plus community on there now, which I'm trying to figure out what the plus means. But
it means they include pedophiles, rapists, and anything else that needs approval by the woke ideology. I'm kidding, not rapists, but probably people that like to have sex with their dogs. So, whatever.
Oh God.
But
bestiality, that's it.
But Budweiser's worried about some throwback from that community. I don't think it would impact their sales as much. I think I don't think we have to be politically correct anymore, Evil. I think being politically correct don't want to get canceled. I get that about
get canceled. That's the okay. Evil, you got to think of this like what do terrorists do? I'm not calling anyone terrorists here, but as a reference, terrorists stop you from acting the way or doing the stuff that you'd normally do. They put you into a spot where you're so scared to say what you want to say or act a certain way or be free to do what you want to do. That's in retrospect. It's the same thing when with political correctness and wokeism. They want you to be so scared to go against their narrative and to go against their freaking ideology that you'll be canceled in some sort of way. I'm like no, stand up to these people.
And I understand where Evil's coming from. I really do, because all it takes is a couple actors in your community to talk to somebody above you, or they know somebody that says, hey, this guy is not very inclusive, this guy is doing this and that, and we feel hurt. I'll send you an invite if you want, but be forewarned.
Are we gonna bust the time?
but this is recorded. So it's your call, Evil. but getting canceled, which, and I know you've had to deal with some of this, where somebody didn't like something and a group didn't like what you were doing.
Evil's going, do it.
No, that's oh, you're good. Okay. Where and I know he's gone through this because I remember him going through this, and it was over really, to me, non-issue stuff.
Hey, Rock
What's going on,
Force
Rock Force?
is in the
And,
house.
Rock Force.
But some of these people get canceled over everything. So that's why I tell people, go listen to some Tom McDonald.
Dan
Guy's
Bongino.
independent.
I like
go
Dan
listen. He's
Bongino.
independent. Dan Bongino is good too, but I'm talking about music where he talks. He's got one's called it's cancel culture or whatever. I forget the name of the song, but he talks about getting canceled. But you can't cancel me. I'm independent.
Yeah.
You can't cancel me. I am the brand.
Well, you know who else said that? Kristen Sinema, when she left the Democrat Party and became an independent, and they were asking her right and left, and she refused to say at first why she chose to be an independent instead of being riding party lines, whether she didn't join the Republican Party.
Wrong.
And she said the same thing. She said, because they can't cancel me because I'm not I'm an independent. You can't be canceled being in. Same thing she said. So it's she's like, I can go against the narrative and not have to worry about these people come after me and cancel me out because now I'm not party affiliated. I'm independent. So, good luck canceling
if you're independent,
me.
Which it's a lot harder to be independent because at any point in time, Restream could say, we don't like you guys anymore because you did something and not allow us to use the service. YouTube could be like, we don't like you because you said X about X. We're canceling you.
Yeah.
We try not to swear on stream, but sometimes it comes out.
You know what I like doing?
But like with Evil here, somebody called him a pedophile.
You serious?
Called him a pedophile because he was playing Minecraft with his daughter on a stream. His daughter.
Come on.
Oh, well, you know what?
And that's where his whole and it took months to straighten it all out. Months.
I got called a terrorist for putting an 82nd Airborne emblem up on a website, that chat group I was part of on Facebook, and a guy came on and started calling me a terrorist, and I was like, how am I a terrorist for putting up? I said, if anything, I was the one fighting the damn people. Oh, no, you were. Turns out that upon further investigation into this guy, he turns out that he's from Lebanon. I'm like, okay, if anyone's a terrorist, I'm saying, like, I was like, but this guy was putting up such a stink that the group admin got so scared that they would get canceled that they sent me an email or a messenger note in private chat stating to have me take down the 82nd Airborne emblem, and then said that I was that I was but that the symbol was and displaying my pride in my my military affiliation was offensive to other people that or that this guy was finding offensive. So they catered to this guy that wasn't even a U.S. citizen, and said, okay, we're scared of you, Lebanon guy, and they had me take it down.
Them being politically correct.
Yeah. And then I turned around and I told them, I sent them a message, and I sent the entire admin team a message. And I said, look, I'm leaving your group, but I just want to let you know that I am highly, highly offended that I said, this is an American group, okay, on Facebook, which is an American thing. And I said, not so American considering Zuckerberg, but I said, I fought for the freedom of this country in the military for many years. I said, I went overseas to war. I came back, all this shit. I've been on different operations all over the world, with the special warfare community, as well as the 82nd Airborne. And, and the whole time I'm protecting my family and your right to sit here and call me a terrorist, or your right to sit here and call me, whatever you want, and burn the flag and do all this crap. And because, we have the greatest nation in the world with the most freedom in the world. I said, but you take that shit for granted all the time. I said, I find that highly offensive. I said, why don't you step out to some other country, one of these third world toilets that I've been to, and see how free you really are to talk like that. I said, you speak one word out of line in some of these countries, you're in jail for the rest of your life, and good luck getting freaking, a ransom back home.
Yeah.
I was like,
one word in South Africa will get you put in prison for almost
shit, go to El Salvador, freaking Nicaragua. One word down there would get you shot in the head, Oh yeah,
yep.
Yeah. I mean, a place like Kenya and
that's Ranger.
Yeah, it's Ranger.
Somalia.
Yeah,
that's me. That's Ranger. Yes.
Yeah, he's bitter and jaded.
Yes, I'm bitter and jaded because I've been to all these countries and realized how good we have it, and these people out here that have never been outside their own city or town or even the United States sit here and go, and I'm like, dude. You don't realize how good you have it.
You didn't stop being such a snowflake.
And me a snowflake? I'll kick your ass. Come on, bring it on, man. Come on, old man. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I'm gonna bring in the 82nd Airborne. And,
the ONQUAC question has arose.
Yeah. I got the weaker hand here, so this is the 173rd Airborne. So
ONQUAC is going to hopefully be on next week. He had a prior engagement this week, so he is out. I have a prior engagement next week, so I won't be here.
Yeah, I got a meeting to go to for work next Tuesday. But I'm hoping it's going to be over by 8 o'clock or 8:30, so I should be home just in time, if not a few minutes late.
We may have to get Verm some guest people.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get guest people maybe next week. Yeah, if you guys are not there, I'm gonna be alone on the air.
Yeah. What will you possibly talk about?
Oh, I could talk about a lot of stuff. Maybe get my son on this.
Are you going to talk about that kid in Canada that got arrested for trying to keep boys pretending to be girls out of the girls' bathroom?
Oh God! Don't get me active on that.
Happened in Quebec.
I can't believe it. Oh God!
You can invite Evil on. Evil would like to be invited on, I think.
Hey, Evil, do you want to join up next week? Come and chat with me. Yeah. Maybe get Rock Force one day.
Yeah. Still a minor.
Oh yeah, okay. He's still a minor, I think. And that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's got to be that 18 plus.
Yeah.
Got to be 18.
Yeah,
I don't even remember 18.
Have a
that was
PC
too long ago
discussion, Evil. You could bring up some PC subjects and maybe talk about PCs.
There we go.
PCPs or PCVs?
Yeah.
No, PCs like in computers.
Oh.
Talk about all the new hardware's coming on. Did you see that Linus Tech Tips was a 1,000 watts to a 4090?
Do you know it's almost been 34 years since I was 18? Oh my God.
Don't get me on this too. God, you guys, man.
Such a youngin'.
I'm going on 55. I'm going on 55 in November.
May 14th is my birthday, by the way. So, that Tuesday after we sing happy birthday to my ass. So, yeah.
No, I'm not singing happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to me.
I'm going to send you a 6-pack of
I
Bud
gotta
Light.
pee 3 times a night.
God.
Did you see that commercial with some of the guys from Black Rifle Coffee?
Yeah.
On the car. The guy hands him a Bud Light and he goes, "What's this for?" He goes, "I thought you needed some tranny fluid."
I haven't seen that one. I need to see it. I need to see it.
I was like,
Tranny
oh
fluid.
man, these guys are gonna get canceled.
I thought you were talking about the one where they were talking about getting about having to constantly never get this car done because I'm always urinating. He's like, the coffee's bad for you, but age is worse.
And so when did it become? Now they're, what is it? What are they called? Transsexuals?
No. We used to call them. They're
Well, they
called
used to be transvestites.
transgenders. They were transvestites.
Used to be
drag queens.
transvestites and
Was
drag
it?
queens.
Drag queens,
And now they're-
and then transsexuals was
Yeah.
politically correct term. Then transgenders. So
Stop.
But you know
Hey,
one thing.
trannies.
You know what?
We used to just call them trannies back
No,
in
but
the day.
wait.
You know
I'm
what
an
we're going to talk
open-minded
about?
guy. I'm
You
an
know what we're going to
open-minded-
talk about here in a couple weeks? Gender.
Now evil gender and sex, same thing.
Yeah.
I am going to bring up. I am going to find the list of genders, and I want to try to understand this.
There's only
'cause it-
two:
well,
male, female. That's it. Go prove to me any of the other genders out there, because asexual doesn't.
Yeah, but
Oh,
but
nah, I don't want to hear it.
I know we did put our exclusion
See,
in the
I
beginning.
got Ranger all fired up. He's already.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I know we got our
He's
exclusion.
like he's like, shut up.
at the beginning, but we do got to make sure that we got to watch what we're doing. You know, today it's like it's a really it's a hot topic. So
It is a
Yeah,
hot topic,
yeah.
and I want to understand it.
yeah.
But don't be scared of it. That's the problem. You got to
not
stand
scared
up
of
and
it.
be
Scared of it.
I
scared
just
of
want
it.
to understand it. When I
Hey,
ask
you
questions,
got to clarify
people-
the situation.
Wait,
people,
I do.
You gotta make it
people
fluid.
tell me something, and then I have to try to understand it, and then they get offended because I don't know. I'm just trying to educate myself so I understand when somebody goes, I'm a cisgender, blah, blah, blah. I have no idea what that means.
Okay, cisgender
It's-
is just another word
no,
for being
I'm not
straight.
having you. I'm
It
not
means
having
you're
you
straight.
explain
It means that
whatever.
you're not gay.
No,
That's
no,
all it
no,
means.
no. It's true that you're right, Kai, that we need to have someone that could explain it, because it's true that it's
we
so-
come from an older generation
yeah.
where we didn't have all this, and so when somebody
We didn't
goes,
have all this 20
"You-
years ago.
you have to use my pronoun.
And I'm
Hey, I'm
Evil-
offended.
I'm with Evil on this, that we can't just shout out stuff like that. It's going to become like all the damn crap going on in the society.
No, and that's why I
well,
wanna-
you know what? You know
That's
what
why
I did?
want to understand it.
I
Yes.
shut one of these little whiny bags down one day. There was one of my neighbors is one of these.
Yeah, but we're
types,
old and
but-
grumpy. What are you going to take away
yeah,
from us?
So his son is really big into the left and being woke, and so he's not transgender or anything, but he supports it and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, you got the freedom to do that. That's a great thing about this country.
Evil's coming in.
So he starts talking, and I looked at him. I said, you know what? And he said, well, I just want to introduce you with my pronouns. And I looked at him, and he says, and I started giving him that smirk, like, and he goes, so I'm a he, blah 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 blah, and he goes through, that I'm a cisgender male, this, that, and another thing. I was like I couldn't tell, and then he's like, so what are your pronouns? I looked at him, I said, kiss my ass are my pronouns, and he just went, and he goes, he did not know what to say. His dad was losing. His dad's like back behind. And I said, and I'm highly offended that you even asked me what my pronouns are.
I said,
And he goes, and then he asked me, he goes, well, are you binary or non-binary? And I went, I am so offended that you're asking me this. I said, I'm sorry. I can't talk to you. I'm beyond offended. I just played it up. I just used his, their tactics against them. And he just did. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to offend you. He about cried. The guy about broke down. He's this 18-year-old kid. He broke down. I think he's 17, but he broke down. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like almost on bended knee with hands clasped in humble supplication, trying to get my forgiveness. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. Grow up. I was like, dude, get up, straighten up, be a man. Stop the limp-wristed handshake. Freaking be a dude. You know, I shook his hand. I said, "It's okay,
Men
dude." And he
should
gave
be
me,
men,
he gave,
and
he
women
gave
should
me
be
this
women.
like, he gave me this like half finger, politically correct, fingertip squeeze, and I was just like, I went, dude. I took his wrist. I said, I locked my hand into his like this, and I grabbed it. I said, now I said, squeeze my hand back, dude. I said, just give me a manly handshake, and he did. He's like, ugh. And he goes, and I said, does that feel better? He goes, yeah, actually it did. I said, okay, so stop squeezing my hand like you're a politician. Squeeze my hand like you're a man. And he goes, oh. I said, now you're being a man. I said, now carry on, soldier. And he goes, yes, sir.
Well, but we grew up in different time.
No, yeah, I mean that's how that's just the way it
Ladies
is.
and gents, we got Evil in channel.
We
But
got
how
an
did
evil
we grow
child.
up? How did we grow up? We grew up because our
We're going on
fathers
for another
taught
10
us.
minutes. What do
Our
you want?
fathers taught us the right way of being. And the problem is that the nuclear family is about dead anymore. And then you got all these moms. Not saying it's a bad thing. I think moms do a
There's
great
a
job.
lot of
But you
men.
need men to.
There's
to
a lot of
teach
men
cho-
that
boys
aren't
how to
even
be
getting
men.
married anymore.
Yeah. Well,
They're not
that's
dealing with women. Period. Because
Well,
they don't
that's
want to deal with
because
it.
wait. That's because the average woman doesn't know what the hell she wants, and she's busy watching all these fake TV shows of how this man is supposed to treat her, and that she thinks she can do it all on her own. And the normal chivalrous guy, the guy that we were all taught to be, to take
The
care
guy
of
with
them,
honor,
open the
yeah.
door. Yeah, we get thrown out the door. And I'm lucky. I have the lifestyle that I do. But some of these young guys, they don't even know how, like, what's going on. Why should they treat a woman
I think
a
he
certain
wants
way,
a
a certain
boy.
way? Because a woman, it's always changing every time, each different tier. Oh, well, he paid for my meal. He's too masculine because he won't let me. He's too controlling because he won't let me make an order or do anything.
That's somebody said that to me the other day. Stop mansplaining.
Yeah.
My sister does
No, but
that to me all the time.
But I like what
Too
you're
much
saying,
man
Evil.
spread. Stop mansplaining. I'm like, what?
Hey, is
Man
Vampy
spread?
wanting to come in too? I don't know.
Huh?
Vampy is on her phone and watching us on YouTube. And
Oh, okay,
Hey.
no, because I thought she's here. That's why.
Oh no, she's watching us real quick.
Hey, question, gentlemen.
So
How much man spread do you have going on right
Man spread about 12 inches.
now? No, that's
From
how.
kneecap to kneecap, maybe
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
farther.
I look like I'm doing the splits right now. So
you know what? I've been watching these sitcoms and stuff like that. Not the sitcoms. I'm just trying these reality show stuff. All the crap going on lately,
Right.
and I'm with Evil on that. It's becoming superficial. Everything is becoming so superficial.
I got to get a drink. I'll be right back. I'm gonna hop off camera. I'm
So
still live.
everything is coming superficial. So women want to see men this way, and men want to see women that way, and it's getting so complicated. And then you're going like we were talking about, like which sex is which sex, and who is what, and where is what, and how it is. And
Well, it's
I'm
because
a
they
he,
all
I'm a
want
she,
to have
I'm
a
a this, I'm a
TikTok
that.
life.
It's like you're going like, whoo, Donnie. Not that I'm old. It's not that I'm old, guys. It's not that I'm old.
Well, they all want to have a TikTok, Facebook life.
Oh,
So and so. Look how good they look on Facebook, and they're doing this, and this.
No, so it is a generational disparagement of what's going on with the new generation compared to us old guys.
Yeah.
I had explained this to my father recently and to my daughter is because she's got a young man in her life that is treating her very controlling in mind, like just I don't want to. I'm trying not to swear on here, but just mind controlling her, basically playing mind games with her. And I actually had to sit down and have a conversation with her because she lost it on my parents and acted a fool in front of my parents over this boy and defending him over what? I mean, it's not, you're not married, you're not engaged, you're just dating. I'm like, it is ridiculous. I'll show you pictures after the podcast, DJ Kai, because it is ridiculous how this boy treated my daughter. And I'm like, I can't wait to go back to vacation because he's going to get a long conversation with me. No, but I'm waiting. You might have to bail me out. I'm waiting. Trust me. I'm waiting.
I thought he was getting like verbally abusive or physically abusive. I couldn't remember.
He got verbally abusive with my mother.
Oh, yeah, good luck
and
on that one.
And my mother for some reason felt the need to tell me. And I'm old school, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back and protect my mom, but yet I'm gonna protect my daughter and find out why my
I'm
daughter didn't
surprised your
stand up.
mom just didn't backhand him.
She almost did.
Because
she had to remember
evil's
that he's
mama. Telling you what,
my
that's
mom
like
just put a
open
knife
up a
to my
can of
throat.
whoop ass.
I try to explain this to my kids. I'm like, my mother, their grandmother, has put a knife to my throat, told me straight up, "I brought you into the world, and I'll take you out." And I think that's what this other
I think
generation
all our
needs.
mothers have done that.
Yeah.
Or
the switch.
My mom has flipped out on me a couple times and gotten close to said, "I'll take you out."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
but I jumped in here because of a couple statements that y'all made. The reason I said you stop is because the fact is that you are streaming on Twitch, right? And so Twitch's rules have changed. So conversations of calling genders and not being PC about the genders could have you reported if anybody's watching on Twitch or everybody's watching the VOD on Twitch. So be careful there. Ranger, and I was saying, can you hear me? I don't know if you hear. Oh, okay. But the thing that I was saying to Ranger, I was gonna say to Ranger is that, you know, I get where he's coming from about gender, because gender, there's only two. Scientifically speaking, there's only two genders.
Yeah, because if you go to the doctor's office, so here, let me explain something to you. So my wife went to get her annual. Real quick,
that's the
my
thing.
wife went to get her annual.
I want to
and there was
understand the semantic of words.
But what I'm saying is, he just mentioned that scientifically speaking, there's two genders, and that's true because when she was at her OB, there was a transgender guy that walked in. He's a transgender girl, and it was a guy who's playing at being a girl and thinks he's a girl or whatever. So she walked up to the counter. Oh God, I just used pronouns. So they walked up to the counter and started talking. Well, the lady, obviously the guy had a 5 o'clock shadow. He looked like a dude. He wasn't trying too hard. Anyway, so she said, well, what were you born at? And he goes, oh, I was assigned as a boy at birth. And she goes, well, you weren't assigned. That's just how you were born. She goes, stop talking politically. Just talk to me normally. And she's like, so we can't help you here. He's like, but I identify as a girl. He goes, unfortunately, we go by the biological, she goes, birth. So she's like, so if in the medical world, if you were born a girl, then yes, you can be seen at the facility. If you were like a girl identifying as a boy, you're still a girl. Okay, regardless of surgery, you're still a girl, and we could see you here because all your innards are still the same, unless you got a total hysterectomy. And then she said, if you were a boy and you are identifying as a girl, you cannot be seen here. But she goes, I can refer you to an LGBT supportive clinic that helps people like you get the care you need, for gender affirming care, I guess is what it is. And so, and she said, but unfortunately we can't help you here. And the girl guy got mad and he walked out. And my wife said that, she talked to the doctor and she was like, well, how do you deal with this stuff? And they're like, well, we don't accept. Some OBs do, and we'll see transgender people that are actually born male and have had the surgery to be a female, and they'll see him. But he goes, but unfortunately, like if you go into an emergency clinic and let's say you were in a car accident, they're always going to go by what you were born as. So you're not going to be identified, as a girl just because you say you're a girl. They're going to go by because they got to deal with you biologically and not emotionally, not mentally. And she's like, so your mental thoughts and the thoughts that, yes, I identify as a girl, but biologically you're a guy. So they got to go by the biology. And so therefore they only have two genders in the medical world that they will ever go by, which is man and woman or boy and girl.
That is almost correct, but not. So the reason I say this is not playing devil's advocate, and Akai can attest to this. I have a follower / streamer that's on my Discord that I used to stream with, and she's a special case. Now, her official terminology is hermaphrodite. Okay. And if you
That
guys
is
know
an
what that
extremely
is,
rare case.
very rare case. And the issue is this person found out that they were given, they had male parts, male outside parts, female inside parts.
Okay. Wow.
So in high school, around the time of a female menstrual cycle, this person who was assigned, quote unquote, assigned using the terminology, as a male at birth, started having a menstrual cycle with it to have no place to go.
Okay.
And so complete surgeries, stomach cramping, all this type of stuff. They had to put a catheter in, all types of stuff, just to find out that, oh, your body is screwed up. You are a female. They did a brain scan. They did all types of stuff on her. I mean, luckily she's over in BC where the insurance is, the healthcare is free, but they went through every little test you could find to figure out whether or not this person was faking it, and they weren't. It's not even faking it. They weren't mentally saying, I'm a girl, I need girl clothes, I need this or that. They were developing
yeah, but that's an extremely rare
it's an extremely rare case. But then you have this community, so that you have that community, the trans community, and you have this, like I said, the hermaphrodite community, because it's starting to come around more and more, but this is all built off of that community. Like the trans community is riding off the back of the hermaphrodite community. At this point, people are like, go ahead.
I had to call my buddy who's he's gay, been gay his whole life. Ever since he was in high school, he knew he was gay.
Mm-hmm.
He's into dudes. Cool, that's you. You do your thing.
Right.
Was his name
I had
Ben
to call him.
and last name Dover?
A friend of yours?
No, your friend.
Is that your gym buddy? Is that your gym buddy there?
So
just don't play. I
had to call him and go, okay, you got to explain this LBGQ plus thingy to me because I'm confused. And then we started talking about pronouns, and he's just as confused over pronouns as I am because we're the same age.
Right.
And for him, being a gay man in the gay community, still has a hard time dealing with the whole pronoun thing.
Because the pronouns is gender identity, not gender. That is what I'm learning. I've been trying to research this stuff too. But gender is your base gender, male, female. There's what? The Y chromosome, X chromosome. You're going to get assigned it, whatever your parents' DNA is, that's what you're going to get. Tough. But this gender identifying, this stems from a whole backside community that came out as either gay or came out as bisexual or came out as lesbian, and they took on a role. So this is a gender identifying or gender role.
Oh, it's like role playing that went.
Yeah, a gender role. Yes, you said it right. The role play. It is a gender role that they took on in their relationship. Because if anybody looks at it, all relationships, you guys have been married. You guys know that in every relationship there is a dominant and there's a submissive, or there is it's never 50-50. Never. There's somebody who's in charge.
I understand
what
that.
I don't understand is, okay, there's now I understand there's gender dysphoria, which is a mental disorder.
Yes.
And so you got two sides. Now I can understand if you're if you're like a gay couple or a lesbian couple, and let's say let's take a lesbian couple for instance, because it's easier to tell. Sometimes you get two flamboyant gay men and it's hard to tell who's playing the man role. But in most, like I know a lot of lesbians at work. I know the military has a lot of them. So
Honey, I took her iPad away.
Hold on. Hold on, I got a family feud real quick. Carry on.
Okay, have fun. I get where he's going at, and it's the roles. It's the almost role playing, but it's the roles that they decide who's going to be the I'm trying to be
who's going to be the alpha and the beta.
Yeah, yes. So now we're getting to something that Rockforce had said in chat about Andrew Tate. And what's our thoughts on him? Or I can tell you my thoughts on Andrew Tate is at first, I didn't like him. I didn't, because I'm like, you're too prep boy.
I don't have enough evidence.
Boy. Well, of course, not a lot of people do. But Andrew Tate's very prep boy, fraternity frat, alpha male. Okay, alpha male. He's the one that gets
Sorry,
you.
Rock Force. You're just gonna have to live
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, he's the one that gets you drunk on the weekends at the frat party when you know you shouldn't be drinking. He is that guy. Overall, the stuff that Andrew
But I
Tate
also think
said,
he's that guy that's
who
gonna
lives that.
who he lives that male persona,
Mm-hmm.
and he is gonna be that guy that goes, look, man up, get back in the fight. He's gonna be your friend that's gonna show up and go, look, you're acting like a sad sack. Grab
Yep.
a pair and let's go.
Exactly.
That's the Andrew Tate thing, and men need
I'm back.
that
I'm
type
sorry
of
about
friend in their life.
that. Oh,
They need one or two of those friends in their life to go, look, you just grab a pair and move out.
But that's not
But it's
the same.
not totally how you should be in life.
Yeah,
if that
thank
makes
you.
sense,
You
Rock
got it.
Force.
So
You still need to be honorable. You still need to be opening doors for women. You still need to treat women with respect. You still need to treat your mothers with respect and your grandparents with respect and your elders with respect. You can't be a total a-hole the whole time, if that makes sense.
Can you
I
guys
am.
hear
What are
me,
you
by
talking
the
about?
way?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay.
We're just choosing not to listen to you.
Oh, shut up.
Oh yeah, that's
I haven't said anything yet. So, anyways, I just make sure my mic
But
works.
I just want to go back. Like, Akai, I'm with you on it. We do need to have a special guest that could explain everything. That would be good to give us a bird's eye view of all this. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm an open-minded guy. I have no
Right.
issues.
Okay.
But,
Grab your
okay,
stuff.
say it again.
Oh, my
don't-
daughter.
I don't know. I don't know anybody versed well enough in. I don't even know
In
what
the
you
gender?
would call the pronoun universe.
The pronoun doctrine.
Whatever you want to call
So-
it. There's more than I
so-
can. It's not like there are 20 pronouns.
No, there's way more.
No, there's
You got the
hundreds.
Z's, M's, A's. So get this. So I was talking to one of the people at work who's a lesbian, and she's a young lesbian. She's one of the younger gender, the millennials. She's like 20, I think 26, 27 years old, and she's just out of the military and starting to work for us. But she's a really cool chick, But she plays okay. So she explained like this: lesbian couples, you got a Tom and you got the Jills. Okay, the Toms obviously are the tomboys. They're the ones that cut their hair short usually and play the male role. The Jills are the females that are the giddy, and have the longer hair and play the girl role. So so
I learned
anyways,
something just now.
yeah. So
What
she's
do you
like,
mean you learned something?
I didn't know that.
yeah. So
You
she
didn't know
said,
Call them bulldogs.
yeah, well,
Yes,
no.
that's
Now,
the
I
term.
asked her about. Good, glad you brought that up. I said, well, what about you sometimes see like two Toms together? She goes, well, that happens. Just like you'll see sometimes two Jills, like they call them lipstick lesbians because they're two hotties together. And she's like, which is actually rare. She goes, it's a rare sight to see that. She goes, you see more Toms together than you will. And she goes, and sometimes it's because Toms attract other Toms because they're past like being with a girl. They want to be more with a man type woman than anything. And she goes, and that's why we call them dykes or bull dykes. And she goes, and we even call them dykes even though it's not politically correct. She's like, we still in the community still call them dykes because that's what they are. She's like Rosie O'Donnell types, she's like, these are women who kickstart their vibrators and roll their own tampons. And I was like, I started losing it. She's like, but
Oh
that's
my
what
God.
they do. And she said,
I hope you don't get banned.
so she
Wow.
she said, and as far as
that on
the
a shirt.
pronouns, she goes, a lot of this, she goes, she was part of this whole pronoun thing. She goes like, I grew up into, this pronoun thing was becoming huge. And she's like, and she said, some of this is just outlandish BS behavior to get attention on the internet. She goes, some of these, so like the ones that go out there and like, my pronouns are z, zay, zem, z, za, ze, zu, ze, za, and they sound like they're almost speaking German at some points. And she's like, and she
Well,
goes,
unfortunately now
and
it's
that's
in
all
corporate
fake.
email.
Well, she said, here's the thing is, like, a lot of that is fake, and people suck it up like it's real. And she goes, and these are just idiot kids going
But
out
it's
there
not
trying to make
fake.
stuff. Well,
It's
she
not
said
fake,
what
Ranger,
the
because like I said, nowadays it's in corporate email.
well,
People will open up their
that's what she was
emails with their
talking about. That
pronouns.
people suck. Well, not that I'm talking about the outlandish pronouns like z, zay, them. What they're talking about is the real pronouns that I identify as my pronouns are he, she, or she, he, or she, he, and then you start getting into people calling my pronoun. You call me a they because I'm asexual. I'm neither sex. Okay, I don't identify as this or that. So they say, this is my pronoun is a they. Okay. And people are like, how can one person be, a they? That's using improper English. And they're like, no, because I'm two people in one. I'm biologically a she, but I identify as a he, or I'm biologically a she, but I identify as both she and he. And so I'm more than one personality in I'm multiple personalities in one person is how she explained it. And I said, okay, so you're schizophrenic at this point because multiple personality disorder is schizophrenia. That's just another name for it.
Okay,
So that's
I'm
a
gonna
mental
break character here.
and,
Hold on,
and
I'm gonna
she
break character.
and
If
so
I hold
so
a shotgun to their head, are they gonna pick a gender? I mean,
yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
Well,
she
I just
that's
opened
the
up
way
this
she
link.
explained it. And
You
I
need to
said,
open up this link, Ranger.
Wait,
You need to
Ranger,
open up this
go
link.
read the link.
what link? Let me see this link.
You're
Okay, so this
welcome.
New
one's
York
my
governor.
guess is like New York City, right?
And
Yep.
Department
What
of
is the
Human
pronoun?
Resources Administration, Department of Homeless Services
He, she, they,
has a
they,
thing on
them,
gender
these,
pronouns.
as are neutral pronouns. Neutral pronouns. Yeah.
So I learned a new I learned a new
I
tagline.
can't read this garbage.
TGNC, which is transgender and gender nonconforming. Had no idea. But the one I'm confused about here is because this is a new one I haven't learned is LGBTQI affairs.
QI is I don't know what the I is. Is that incestual?
Is that like the plus?
That's the
Well,
plus.
Is that
That's
the
a
plus?
plus.
The I is the plus?
That's the plus. Because so what I've noticed, and I'm not as
Thought
old
that
as
was
you
for
guys, and I
incest, but
apologize
okay.
for this comment, but my generation, which I think is still a Kai's, or Kai might be a boomer, I don't know. But
Guy's not. Then
I
I'm
don't
a boomer.
pretty freaking close. But
I think that would be
the
more
thing,
Verm's the boomer.
yeah, Vern may be a boomer.
Firm's our
I'm
age,
not a
or
boomer.
Firm's my age.
I'm
Hey, I'm an
Vern
'80s baby,
55.
so leave me alone. I'm Generation X, so I don't care.
That's what I am, Generation X.
Oh, okay, all right, then you get it.
I'm just a counterculture.
There's a lot of mental disability in this community, I think. And it sounds really harsh, but I'm not trying to make it harsh. Now, mind you, I live with two women that love each other, so, and love me. So I'm not trying to get myself cut either. But I think
it's more. I don't think it's more with
Let
gay
me go
people.
talk.
Well,
Let
no.
me go talk.
I just want to interject real quick. You're talking about getting yourself cut. I think it's more with the transgender people that the mental disability is than the gay people. Gay people are just picking a lifestyle. It's not necessarily a mental thing.
No,
No, because I do. So here's one thing about me. I do actually have a daughter who's gay. Okay. And it has nothing to do with her lifestyle choices. Was based off of things that happened to her in her youth, in her deep youth, when I wasn't there. Things that, SA, which we can't say here, but she was assaulted. Okay. And it
Which is
made her
terrible.
yeah, which is terrible. And I don't agree with that for anybody, but
I can understand how that will change somebody.
Yes, and I found that a lot of youth figure that if they get hurt by a specific gender or specific sex, let's just do it like that because it's easier. If that opposite sex hurts them, they will choose to be with the same sex as a means of protection. Okay, So my daughter, she has never been with a man, and I applaud her. She's not interested in men. Applaud her. But she was taken advantage of when she was younger, and I can only support her in her choices. But do I think that mentally she chose this for all the wrong reasons? No, I don't think she chose it for the wrong reasons. I think there are certain routes that people take to go this route where they kind of have this mental being mentally lost, where they can't choose. Oh, I am female, I am male, I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't know what I want, and I don't know who I want. I just don't know who I am. And luckily, which seems really bad, is luckily we're at this crossroads, because back in my day growing up, when people were mentally lost, they normally hurt themselves. Okay, there was no safety net for people with this type of expression.
There's definitely a lot more out there for them now.
Yes, and I think that's where people are coming with. They're coming with the woke ideology that we as gender X or boomers or whatever need to wake up and see their struggle, and that their struggle is supposedly real. And hey, if it's an essay reason why you you changed your sexual preference, if there's an essay reason why you felt like you need to be a man, if you're a female and you feel like you need to be a man, if there's reasoning in the past, in the history, I can understand that. What I don't get behind, and I don't care if this gets me canceled, I don't get behind indoctrinating our children.
No,
before they're, I'm not behind that. I don't agree with letting our kids get transformation surgery or start hormone therapy before the age of 18, before they even know what is going on.
If your kid wants to play with dolls and he's a boy, let him play with
dolls.
It's no big deal. If he wants to play with the same toys the girls are playing with, let him play with them.
If he's
but
got
don't
girls
let him live in the fantasy that he's a girl.
Exactly. And that's
some people won't agree with that,
No.
but I think part of my thing on that whole the grooming thing is, most adults don't know what they want.
No.
How are you going to expect children to know what they want?
No, I can't. I honestly cannot see a child who has girl children around them playing with dolls not to want to think or assume that they might be girl, because they want to play with the dolls. They want to be a part of the social network.
They want to be part of that social group. Yeah.
Yes. And so next time you can be a young little boy out there and get bullied because you're not big enough to play basketball or big enough to play football, and get beat on a field, and it's hard. And I hear you, Ranger. I see you, Ranger. And it's a tough situation. I just wanted to address it. I really did. I didn't want to get into this long, drawn-out situation. Here's some information for you.
But I think a lot of that too, though, Evil, is we candy ass a lot of this stuff nowadays. Where before we used to just slap the kid on the back of the thing. You just got to practice more, get better at it than he is.
But that's
now we're like,
fault.
Oh, it's okay. Here's your participation ribbon. You should feel good about yourself. Even though you suck. My kid was whining about that about karate, right?
Uh-huh.
He's mad. He doesn't want to go to a tournament because he never wins an award. And I go, well, you got to practice a lot and train a lot in order to win that award. They just don't give them to you for showing up. Right. It's not a participation award. That kid worked really hard to get where he's at. And he got mad because last time he made it like second place. Well, you made it to second place. That was pretty good. Mm-hmm. You didn't get an award for it. The guy that gets first place gets the award. So next time, practice harder and beat the guy.
So let me tell you an interesting story real quick. When I was in high school, I played football and baseball mostly and ran indoor track during the wintertime. And so the really quick, one season I took my sophomore year off of football and ran cross country track because I was a good long distance runner. And a little I know that at the track meets, now when we practice, we always practice as a group. All the guys practice together. The girls track team practice separately. But at the meets, we all ran together. It was all girls and guys running at the same time. It wasn't like separate meets. And so we'd run the 5K run which is 3.5 miles exactly, and we do it with the. Now, I had never been at my first cross country meet. I sucked. I didn't know how to pace myself, and I'd never run track like this before. Indoor track is so much different than running 3.5 miles on a dirt track, and so I literally was finding myself amongst all the girls. I was just like the only guy. I was like the last dude in line, and I'm this big guy. All the other guys are skinny little dudes, like, running, running their asses off. And here I'm this big lumbering 6'1" dude. And the funny thing is that I was like, I had fun. I didn't care that I was with a bunch of girls, but it made me, it made my male ego kick in after a while. And I was like, no, I need to get ahead of these girls. So I kept working at it to the point where I was up with the last dudes in line, and all the girls were behind me. But in the end, when I thought about it, I was like, I'm there to have fun. I'm not worried about whether I'm beating a chick or beating a guy. Now, and this is before transgenderism and before, guys and girls, had a whole different thing. But, that plays into today where you got these guys, like you said, that can't compete on against other guys, or don't feel like they can compete fairly against other guys. So I'm going to identify as a chick and go over here and compete with the girls because I'm too candy ass to compete with the boys. So
did you see what happened in Canada?
Yeah, with the weightlifter, where the weightlifter.
Did you see that, Bro?
No, I didn't.
So the Canadian Powerlifting Association allows people that are transgender to compete, and all you have to do is go to the event and say, I'm a this or I'm a that, and you can compete in that class. Well, the coach of the girls went to the event where this other transgender person had been going to and holds like a lot of the records, and competed and blew that girl's, or that, whatever you want to call them, blew that record apart, like by over 100 pounds. And now she's all upset that he was allowed to compete as a girl, but she's allowed to compete as a girl.
Right.
And then you got the swimmer like Leah Thomas, totally a dude. Yeah.
Get a room.
Get a room. I'm trying to keep going on, but
right, it's hard to keep focused. Turn the camera off at least.
Yeah, this is not Pornhub.
No, we're not. You don't need to make it loud with that.
There's minors here.
Oh God.
We're on YouTube for crying out loud.
On others, yeah.
You're on YouTube, eh?
This is YouTube, not Pornhub, right, stranger?
Ladies and gents, we're gonna have to wrap it up.
We can't hear her if she's saying something. Oh, come on, you gotta get the man.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. I'm gonna have to shut the camera down.
Now we can hear.
Take it like a man.
And that comes from someone who's been gay for 7 years.
Yes,
it's fucking retarded.
Whatever. You've never been gay for get out of here.
Oh, whatever.
Get out of here. You've been drinking. Get out. Go.
Retarded. Okay. So we're wrapping this up. So hey,
we are wrapping this up.
That's what happens when your wife drinks too much wine. So, anyways, she hit the bottle a little bit. So
that's okay. So,
anyways, hey, real quick, I didn't get my comedy hour. So
we have to do a special long 1-day stream.
Oh no!
Oh, good Lord!
Now, here's real quick, Vern, before we shut this down. Okay, songs, everyone, each one gets a turn. Song that if you're in jail, you never want to sing. A song that if you're in jail,
you never want to sing.
Well, in jail.
Oh, I got it.
Ring my bell.
Oh God!
Stand by me.
Oh. Swing low, sweet cherry high.
I like big butts, and I'll tell you why. Or how about a little every which way but loose?
Jesus.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's our
Rough,
comedy.
man.
Okay, you can wrap this up now. I
Okay,
wanted to loosen it up a little bit before after all the serious
so,
stuff.
okay, you said that this guy's
Right.
going to be on our show this year. That's what you're telling me with all these weird things.
Well, yeah.
So wrapping this up.
We got the cadence going on in the background. Hoop, hoop.
Yeah. So,
that's an airborne cadence right there.
Gents, I want to thank
Have a good one, Rock.
everybody.
Vampy.
Bam. Yep. Have a good night.
I want to
All the
thank
people that
Evil
showed
for
up. I really appreciate
hopping
it.
in last minute
Thank you,
because
Evil.
of the topic. And by the way, all comments are from everyone. Just making sure we did do our thing at the beginning, but we got to remind ourselves that we are open-minded and that
We are open-minded. We are open to discussion.
We're open to discussion, and the topic that we talked about today, it's not that I'm protecting myself. It's just letting you know that we need more information on some parts because some people, and we got to make sure that Ranger maybe has to work his sayings once in a while. But that's it. That's it.
I'm new to this thing, so yeah, I gotta be edited every once in a while because my poor military mind tends to override my logic.
Yeah, that's what I feel. But that's it. But so, ladies and gents, 2-hour show almost. It's a first. I think we never done that, and the old guy needs to go to bed. So. Have a nice one. See you all next year.
Stop calling me an old guy. I tell you what. Yeah. Anyways.
It says old man on this